Hello, hello. Welcome to Sunday Stamping with Susan and Julie. I'm Julie Davison, and this is my mother, Susan LaCroix.
Hi, everybody.
Sunday Stamping is our weekly video series where we share Stampin' Up projects. We're both Stampin' Up demonstrators and have been for almost 20 years, and we live a couple states away, so we don't get to stamp together in person very often, but we love doing this every week and sharing with you. So thank you so much for joining us. If you don't already, make sure that you subscribe to our channel so that you don't miss out on future Sunday Stamping videos. Sunday Stamping is every week on Sunday at noon Central Time, 1 p.m. Eastern Time. Hi, Mom. How are you?
Hi, Julie. I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I cannot believe that there's just 1 week left in February. This whole month has just zoomed right by, and
Yes.
I just cannot believe that we're that far into 2022 already. Like, not only I think about celebration, I keep saying that over and over again, right? Celebration's almost over, but also we're almost 2 months into this new year. That's crazy.
Yes, it is crazy. It's crazy.
I'm ready for winter to go away. Like, I'm ready for spring. I'm ready for flowers. I'm ready for warmer temperatures.
We're going to actually realize those warmer temperatures because in just a little bit, Dad and I are flying off to Phoenix to visit Nancy and Earl Brown.
I am so jealous. I wish that I could get away. Well, the suite that we're using today definitely reminds me of warmer temperatures and sunshine. So let's flip the camera over to your desk and you can get us started.
Yes. So today we are going to be playing with Artfully Composed, and that's on pages 32, 33, and 34 of the mini catalog. And so there's a lot of things in this suite. And so I'm going to show you them in person, but here's just like an overview of everything. And then if you flip it over, you get a bird's eye view of the stamp set. So you can kind of see it with some more samples. So let me show you the product that's in here. So here's the stamp set, artfully layered. And this is a stamp set that screams to be layered. So all kinds of different components here that you can use to do that. And here are the dies. And again, these are tropical layer dies. And you've got some of the dies that will cut out the stamped images, but you've got some extra little pieces as well, including this fun little border, which I was going to use and I didn't. So I don't know why.
I didn't realize that border was in the die set until I got it out to use for the project today. So I love that. I think it's kind of hidden and you don't really get a good image of the dies, but there's that border and then those other little texture dies. Those are really cool too.
Yeah, and I didn't use those either. So all right, so here's the stamp set and the die, the bundle. And then there's some great paper. And so it's 12 by 12, but I cut it down to 6 by 6 just for ease of showing. And so there's all kinds of fun colors in here. And there are a lot of colors. Calypso Coral and Just Jade and Evening Evergreen and Bumblebee. And you're probably wondering Bumblebee, but so yeah, there's some little Bumblebee dots in there. So yeah, there's all kinds of fun colors. And then the back side of this are these like neutral patterns that will coordinate with them as well. So, so that's the designer series paper, but there's more. There's some printed vellum, and this is kind of fun. So there are basically 3 designs of the vellum. So for example, this kind of crisscross words or script is black on vellum, and then the same thing is white on vellum. And I know you probably can't really see it very well.
Oh, that helps with your hand behind it. Yeah. It's really pretty. I haven't really used the vellum yet. Have you?
No. There's the newsprint in black and then the newsprint in white. And then I did use it on one of my projects. And then there's a map in black and then in white as well. So some fun elements there. And then just to make it even more fun, there's this fun frayed ribbon. Let me get it up close here. So it's frayed on the sides, but you can also fray it from the end. If you just kind of grab and start pulling a little bit, you can have a frayed tassel-y kind of look to it.
I love that. I accidentally did it on one of my pieces, but I didn't think to just keep going. That is really pretty.
Yeah. And then, and unfortunately, these are not available to order, but this faux sea glass. So it comes in 3 colors. And I did use it, even though it's not available to order. And I don't think this will be available until April.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, so those are the components of the artfully layered suite. Beth, are you going first or am I?
It doesn't matter. Do you want me to go first or you want to go
Are
first?
you set up? I'm not set up yet, so
I am set up. I'll switch the camera over.
All right, and I'll get ready.
Okay. So this card, first I'm going to show you some other cards that I made with it, because the thing that I was attracted to from this suite was the designer paper. And so I've made a few cards using the designer paper. And so actually I didn't have the bundle at first. So here are 2 cards that I made with the designer paper, and the bow punch, the bows of Polly. God, I always say it wrong. The bow punch.
Yeah, whatever.
The bow punch goes really well with this designer paper with the leaves. So if you're looking for something really easy, you can do the bow punch and then your punched and stamped sentiment. And then I made this one with our team. Kim did some mystery stamping a week or 2 ago. And so this is the card that I created, and I used some of the stamped images from that set. Now this card is inspired by a card I got during the Great Big Card Swap. This card was created by Mercy Ermakov, and I know, right? The mirror fold card. She said she was inspired by Sara Levin. And so I looked up Sara's tutorial to learn how to do the mirror fold card. And I was happily surprised to find that it's not really that complicated. So today I'm going to show you how to make the mirror fold card. And I have to say, we are pre-recording this video. So this is going out in the Great Big Card Swap to somebody else who swapped. So I didn't keep your card, Mercy. I promised I sent it on to somebody else. But I was so inspired that I had to make my own. Okay, so I've got all the pieces, and I'm going to show you how to do the scoring and the cutting. And then I'm not going to glue them all down. I'm just going to show you the finished card. So the first part is the card base, and we'll have all the measurements in the video description for you. This is 5.5 inches by 10.5 inches. And I scored it at 3.5 inches and 7. Okay, so you've got 3 sections that are 3.5 by 5.5 inches. I'm trying to get this lighting, and I feel like maybe that's better. Okay. All right. So that's the card base. And let's do the scoring on this first, and then I'll go over the designer paper layers. Okay, so I screwed this up the first time that I did it because I was trying to do it with my paper cutter. So I'm going to move my paper cutter out of the way, and I'm going to do the first part with a ruler and a pencil. So we've got 3 sections, and on the first score line, I'm going to measure with a ruler 2 inches from one end, and I'm going to put a little mark with pencil in the score line. I know you can't see that very well. Maybe if I move that, you can see the mark that I made. Okay, so that is 2 inches from the top. And then I'm going to go on the other score line and make a mark that's 2 inches from the bottom. Okay, so from on each side on sort of a diagonal opposite, 2 inches from this side, 2 inches from this side. Now we're going to get the paper cutter out, and we're going to use the scoring blade, which is the lighter of the 2. And we're going to line up that mark. I know it's hard to see. I'm just going to kind of point it out. You're going to line up the mark in the scoring track so that it's right in the center, and then also the corner in the scoring track. So it takes like a little maneuvering to get that 2-inch mark in the scoring track and the corner in the scoring track. And then I find that it's easier if you take the scoring blade to that 2-inch mark so you know where to stop, and then score up to the corner. Okay, so the result is a score from the 2-inch mark up to the corner. And then you're going to turn and you're going to do the 2-inch mark up to the corner of this section. Okay, so we're just doing 2 sections here. And so that, again, we're going to line up the score mark, and then this corner is actually like still in the middle of the cardstock. So it might be hard to see on camera, but I've got the score mark and the other corner, and we're going to score. We end up with a V. And now we're going to do the same thing on the opposite side where the other score mark is. So we're going to go from the very corner to down to the score mark. And then from the inside of that section to the score mark. That didn't go all the way through. I'm just gonna try that one more time. Okay, so you have these 2 V's. Hopefully, did that make sense what I was doing?
Yeah, it did. I had to mute for a minute because the dog started barking, but yes, I'm liking this so much already.
I know, right? Okay, so that's the card base. I'm going to put that aside and show you the pieces. So inside the card, we're going to have 3 pieces, 1 for each panel, right? So the front panel and the middle panel and the outside panel. And so for both the side panels, well, all 3 of them are 3 1/4 inch by 5 1/4. Okay, so that's just like taking a 1/4 inch off each side, right? And then I'm going to actually cut these together. And we're going to, again, make a mark at 2 inches. And I'm going to do this again with my ruler. You could do this in the paper trimmer, but I don't know if I just did it wrong or what, but when I tried to measure and make my mark on the side, like it just wasn't working right. So I've got my little mark right there, and I'm going to do very similar to what we just did with the scoring blade, but I'm going to cut. So I'm cutting off the from the 2-inch mark to the top corner. Okay, so this is going to be for the front, and this is going to be for the 3rd panel. And so these line up perfectly with the score lines that we just did. Now you can see that center panel is going to be a little bit trickier because it has 2 slanted sides instead of just 1. For that piece, we're going to do, I'm like taking a deep breath, hopefully. Hopefully we will do this just right. I'm going to do a mark at 2 inches, and I'm actually going to go just slightly in from 2 inches. So it's like 1 14/16 or 15/16 or something like that. And so I did it on both ends, just like we did with the card base. And so first I'm going to do the mark to one corner. And then I'm going to do the mark to the other corner. And we're going to end up with this trapezoid, which if we did this correctly, will fit right inside the middle.
Oh, nice job, Jay.
I'm going to tell you that it took some practice. It's not hard. Like I said, I just made mistakes the first couple times. Okay, now I do have one more piece. I'm not going to cut this one. This is 3.5 inches by 5.5 inches. And Sara Levin's original tutorial that I looked at did not have this piece, but Mercy's card did. And it's just something to put on the card. I'll show you when we get to it, just like to stabilize the back of it. Okay, the last two pieces that I have are designer paper, and these are 1 7/8 inch by 3 1.25. And these are going to be for the small triangles at the top and the bottom. And you're going to cut these in 2 different ways. So one of them you're going to cut like this, where the card or the designer paper is angling out from corner to corner. Okay, and then the other one, you're going to cut angling the other direction in towards the paper trimmer. And you're just going to cut diagonal from corner to corner. Okay, so it's important that you cut those in opposite directions in order for them to fit correctly on the card with this side facing up. So this is going to go here. You have to do kind of like a little mix and match. This one here, that one there.
All right.
Okay. I am going to show you my finished card without gluing those all on. So when you're folding this, you're going to start by folding. You have like a sort of accordion fold. Definitely you want to have a bone folder to get a nice crisp fold and make sure that, you know, you've got good folds and good edges there. And then next you're going to maneuver the paper so that this one goes away from you and this one is going to go in towards you. And so after you do an initial fold, again using the bone folder to get a nice good crease. And there is the base for the card. Now, here's where this 3.5 by 5.5 inch piece comes in, because I'm going to glue this. See how it has like an uneven edge? I'm going to glue that down so that it is on a flat card. So the back of the card has like a complete rectangular base. Now I will say and show you really quick, Mercy used thick basic white cardstock, so she didn't need to cut this weird piece inside. So if you do choose to use white cardstock, then you can just stamp inside and you don't have to worry about adding that other layer. And there you can see she's got that. So Sarah's original card didn't have that back piece, and it's just really to provide some stability there. I wanted to show you before I bring in my finished project how I did some stamping on this piece. So let me grab my grid paper and my stamps. I find that like this image in the stamp is so big, and you know, sometimes with big images, I find them hard to figure out how to use. So on this one, I decided just to add a little bit of that green leaf in, trying to make sure I get this right, just down here in the corner. So it's a big stamp, but I'm only going to use part of it. And then we're going to do the sentiment in the center, sending all the hugs. And did you notice this stamp in there? It's sort of like, well, you can't really even read it. I don't know what it says. It's almost like it's a different language, and I think it might be. But it's just meant to be like some text, you know, just another element. So I'm just going to add this in yellow to incorporate some of that yellow from the designer paper, just sort of as a background there. So this is the inside portion of my card. And I'm going to bring in the finished one now and show you how I decorated the front. I just added a die cut image and the stamped sentiment. Now this paper does have a little bit of it yellow in the background, so that's why I pulled the yellow in with the tag. And I also did use some of those sea glass and a little piece of ribbon. I cut it in half just to add a little bit of texture. I love how the stripes show through on the top and then on the inside. Actually, on this one, I did use a different paper. I used the green. I couldn't decide. I felt like the white polka dots was too much white. I don't know. Tell me what you think. I know it's not glued down, but there's the white.
Well, I like both because the polka dots on this kind of pick up the dots in the front card,
Mhm.
so it kind of picks that up. But I like the green as well. So I don't know. You can go either way.
Yeah, I think the green makes the white in the middle pop, and I
Yeah,
like that it shows off that angle a little more.
yeah.
So that's the mirror folds
Oh,
card.
beautiful, Jay.
Thank you. I'm so
Definitely gonna do
excited that
that.
I got Mercy's card as inspiration. And thank you. A special shout out to Sara Levin for her awesome tutorial to show me how to make this card so I can share it with you guys.
So are you going to put the measurements in the description?
Yes, we'll have the measurements in the video description for you. And then you can follow along, rewatch this video and follow along with how to score and cut.
Yep, I sure will.
All right, let's change it over to your desktop, Mom. Oh, I like what you got going on over here.
Yeah. So you know how Julie likes to case? Well, she's been inspiring me. So I again, this is artfully composed, and it just screams for layering. And so Julie did some layering, and there's some layering in all of these samples. But I focused in on this one, and the reason I did is that you can, if you notice here, this isn't outlined, this isn't filled in, but on some of these it is filled in. So what they've done with this is they've either used blends to do some filling in, or they've done the outline. So yes, you can absolutely color these in with blends. So I'm just going to do, and I'm using the light Just Jade here, and you could probably use a number of different colors.
That sample caught my eye in the catalog too, and I almost cased that recently.
It's too funny. So I actually couldn't decide. Let's see, I got to find the leaf here. That's a leaf. I think this is a leaf. Okay, so I'm going to stop right there. And I can't decide on the card base because there's these colors in there, Pear Pizzazz and some Just Jade and some having a brain fade.
Mint
Anyway.
macaron?
Yes, thank you, mint macarons. I'm telling you. Okay, so I don't know which color card base. What do you think,
Oh my
Jay?
gosh. I think I like the Just Jade, but the mint looks good too. I struggle with how they combine the greens in some of these papers. Yeah. Like
I agree. So I'm going to avoid the green right now, I think. Well, maybe not. I don't know. Will that pull that green up? No, I think I'm going to eliminate the green. So it's going to be one of these two. What about that? There we go.
I think I gravitate towards the evening espresso, not evening espresso, evening evergreen, because it's dark. And so I feel like the darkness contrasts and goes with all of the greens.
Yes, I agree with you. All right.
But
so
honestly, that's my pick. I like the jade.
Yep. Yes. So now I'm going to take this guy and outline it. So I did find on some of the pieces with the dies, it doesn't quite do it. And the stamp doesn't quite fit there either. So that's why I chose to just color that in with blends. But I'm going to see if I can line this up. Okay, I'm going to get my head right in the camera, I'm sure. It won't be 100%. Oh, I should cross myself. Oh yeah, not too bad. Not too good, but not too bad. Okay. You kind of get the idea. You know what? Let me try it again. I'm going to try it. My cleaner's all the way across the table. I'm going to try it with.
Do you have another piece?
Not cut. That's okay. That's all right. Because it won't really matter once I start layering my elements on. All righty.
It is especially challenging with a rubber stamp set to line this up.
It is because you can't see through it. That's all right. It's okay. You guys, I'll show you my other sample, which looks better. All right, so I'm going to close this up. Now, on this little piece of paper, just like those dots in the piece that Julie used, there's that same kind of script in Bumblebee. So I'm going to be pulling in some Bumblebee as well, just to pull that in. And so I have this little 1/2-inch piece strip of Bumblebee cardstock. I want to make sure I don't have this upside down. I think it is French, Julie.
Yeah, I think so.
All right, and so I'm just going to stamp. You can barely see it. I know you probably can't see it on camera.
Oh yeah, you can see it. I
Oh.
love that little subtle texture.
Yeah, I just wanted to put a little something in there. All right. Now we can start assembling our card. My phone folder, which I have in my handy dandy organized little basket of stuff. All right. I want this to go. I almost don't think it matters. So the other thing I did was I die cut this piece. And I went ahead and stamped a thank you and die cut it, or I punched it with the oval. And I also have these two pieces that I colored in and die cut out in case I want to use them. I don't know that I'm going to use them yet because, it depends because, which section of paper you use. So I'm going to go ahead and put this on. And it almost, I don't think it really matters too much that I kind of missed on the stamping. It's just artistic license, right? All right, let's see here. Squishing this around here. Love my lip glue. All right. So there we have it. Now, this frayed ribbon, I'm going to put, and I purposefully cut my ribbon a little bit long so I could kind of figure out where I want it, but I used tear and tape. And I found that on the frayed ribbon, because of the nubbiness, if you put the tear and tape on the ribbon, you can't get the backing off. So I'm putting this on the card. New roll.
That's a great tip. And that does look really different than my tear and tape. Is it still as easy to tear?
Yeah, that's fine. All right, so I think I want this guy right about here. I may need a little bit more, but that's all right. We'll figure it out. Kind of stretch our ribbon across here so that it stays. And then we'll trim. I just love having different texture on my cards. This would probably make a good like shabby chic, depending on how you do it.
Yeah. I think the elements with the, the vellum and the frayed ribbon really.
Yep. So because again, this is going on this knobby ribbon, I'm going to put tear and tape on the back of this to make sure it doesn't come off. All right. Want this more, I think, towards this end. I'll just go all the way to the end. I can move some of that ribbon showing there. All right, so this guy, I'm going to put up here. And I guess I can try a little bit of liquid glue. You can also use like glue dots. And I just kind of, because I keep forgetting to use those adhesive sheets, Julie. They're in my drawer right on the table. My die cutting stuff is. And do you think I remember? No.
I used the liquid glue this time. There's a few little spots. Yeah, just like you're getting that are
perfect.
Yep.
I just, see, we didn't talk about our project, so you're using some of the same little elements that I am. That happens to us frequently. Sometimes we share, sometimes we don't. We didn't share our projects for this one this time. I'm not sure why.
I know it's kind of fun sometimes to be surprised. I knew you were using the designer paper and stamping on it, so I knew a little bit about your project.
Yeah, I wanted to, because I thought I don't want us both doing the same thing. All right, so now I'm going to add my little thanks. And this is kind of like on the bumpy side here. So I'm going to just put this thank you down here. So I'm going to put little mini dimensionals just kind of on the bottom of the sentiment. Oh, well, I got this upside down here. Just so that it kind of looks even, but it's still popped.
We gotta do another one of those challenges with Amy where we like send supplies to each other, and then
Oh, yeah.
I think it would be fun where if like Amy sent us the same supplies and then made a card herself, and we shared what we all made using the same supplies, and then we could do the same. So I think it would be fun to see our different takes using like the same pieces.
So I'm thinking I have this piece. I could pop it up as add another dimensional thing here. What do you think? Leave it or pop it?
I'm worried if you pop it, it'll take attention away from the greeting.
Yeah, I think you're right. I just wanted to show that you could actually do that, and I suppose I could have put it like up here.
Yeah, you could add it up there.
All right, I've got this guy. What do you think? Too much? I think it's too much. I'm gonna leave it.
Yeah, I like it's so similar to the die cut that.
Yeah. I agree with you. All right, so and then I did add a little of the faux. Oh, where is it? Somebody, the gremlins came and took it. Okay, so I'm going to add a little bit of this faux sea glass, even though we can't get it right now. Oh, what do I want to do here? Let's do another one. Maybe up here. How about, do we like the green? Sure, why not? All right, so just a little bit of sea glass there just to, and then to finish it off, I brought out the Natural Essentials baker's twine that we have. I decided I wanted, even though I have ribbon on there, I wanted a little bow. Do you know this trick, Julie? If you've got lots of curls and crinkles in your baker's twine, if you just run it between your fingernail, you can straighten it out.
Yes, I do that all the time.
It's just habit now. It just seems like, I don't know. I definitely don't. I don't like crinkly baker's twine. All right. I must have some glue on my scissors. Stuff is sticking. All right, so let's throw this little guy here. I just wanted another little textured something here. I must have some glue on my finger. Stuff is sticking to it. Anyway, so there is the card front. I feel like
I love it.
And then, so the inside, I just stamped like you did. I didn't want that whole big turn. So I'm going to use this guy. It was going to be dependent on what color my card base was. So I had a couple of these stamped up. Get there. Oh, this one's too big. I'm gonna have to trim it. That's all right. This isn't
Oh,
what
I could fill the whole thing.
yeah, I know, but that's not what I was intending, but that's all right.
Well, you got glue on it, so that's what the glue's intending.
It was even too big. It was in my scrap bin and somehow
Oh,
I mat, so I'll have to trim that off. But there is my card, and let's pull this in. So this is what I case. So it's similar. So instead of this evening evergreen piece being just a strip, I decided to cut a fern with it. Oh, they put baker's twine on this one too. And so I suppose I could have put the sea glass around here, but that's all right. Anyway, so that is my card that I was inspired by this card. So as Julie says, copy and selectively edit. Anyway,
Perfect.
there we
I
go.
love it.
Thanks.
Have you
All right.
made other cards with this suite?
Oh, I did, Julie. Thank you. So Julie showed this, I want to say it was last week, and she had a card, and I think it was, she cut it this way, and she had a piece of designer series paper, and it was really cute, and I loved it. And then she had her design element on the white that's actually the inside. So I decided to turn it this way and kind of do the same thing. I frayed my ribbon a little bit here. And hey there, and I brought out my marker, my Stampin' Up marker, and put 3 dots there and open it up with 3 dots. Happiest birthday wishes. I want to try to connect that. And then I added some of the sea glass down here rather than on here. So just kind of around the fern.
I love it.
So, and actually this piece was the other part of this, and I trimmed it down even more a little bit. So yeah. So there's that card. And then, and actually I wanted to use the vellum, and I was inspired, but where'd it go? It's here somewhere. Oh, here it is. I decided to do a black and white card.
Ooh.
So I cut off the piece of the map and backed it on basic white, and then did the stitched rectangles and off-centered them with sending all the hugs. And I used some of the neutral matte resin dots that are in the mini catalog. And then on the inside, I just put, again, I put a strip of the vellum with the map. And,
I love it. Any tips for adhering the vellum? Did you back it onto cardstock?
yes, what I did, because if you've never used vellum before, it can be a little bit tricky. So what I did is I put these 2 pieces together, the greeting and the stitched rectangle. And then when I adhered that onto the vellum, and then on the vellum behind this segment, I put some adhesive and then glued it down so that got the bulk of the adhesive holding the vellum onto the basic white piece. Because if you try to just put it wherever, your adhesive is going to show. Now I did, because these little corners kept flipping up, I did throw a little glue dot in each of those corners just to hold that down. So there's no other adhesive around there. So you have to be careful where you put adhesive and what kind of adhesive you use. On the inside, again, I just took a glue dot and tried to find where there was ink to kind of hide where I put it. So that is my tip for that. Does that make sense? Does that make sense?
Yep. Yep.
Okay. So these are my projects that I made with this Artfully Composed stamp set.
Awesome. I'm really digging the colors in this designer paper, but now that I'm playing with the stamp set, like I really do love it. And the sentiments in this set, I love the mixed font. And it's just got a lot of great sentiments, sending all the hugs. Like, I think I'm going to use that one a lot.
I think so. And I saw that and saw the map and thought, okay, that's what I'm going to do. You know, I'm sending them across the miles.
Yes, exactly. Well, let's turn the camera around and show off our cards.
Jeez.
Oh my goodness. I love these cards.
Yeah, I do too. Yeah, I had fun playing with this. I almost didn't want to stop, but I thought, yeah, we've got to film.
Well, the Artfully Composed is just one suite in the January through June mini catalog, which will be available until the end of June, June 30th. And I have to say, sometimes there's a little confusion around the spring time of year because the mini catalog will end, no, the annual catalog will end May 2nd, but the mini catalog goes through June 30th. So we have some overlap where the annual catalog is going to retire and then the new one will start. In the mini catalog is going on this whole time. It used to be that the mini catalog would end with the annual catalog, but now it goes like through until June 30th. So even when you start seeing the retiring list for the annual catalog, which you'll probably see, I would say like late March or early April, because the new annual catalog will start the beginning of May. All of this stuff, the Artfully Composed and everything, is still gonna be going on. So there's plenty of time to get all the goodies in this suite. And that sea glass that's not available right now, even if it takes that long to come in, like there's still gonna be time to order it. It's not gone forever.
Let's hope that. The other thing too, and this is about the time, maybe at next club, to start thinking about what in colors you want to make sure you have, or have refills or cardstock or ribbon, because the ones that are retiring are retiring.
Yeah.
and unless they're added down the road to one of our core sets of colors, they'll be gone. Of course, there'll be brand new in colors to love. And so, I mean, I know that I'm going to miss some of the colors that we've been using. Misty Moonlight comes to mind right off the top.
Yes. Oh, yes. So the retiring in colors are Magenta Madness, Bumblebee, oh gosh, Just Jade.
Yes.
And Misty Moonlight and Cinnamon Cider. So Celebration, especially, we've got another week of Celebration. Now is a great time to stock up on those in colors, because once the last chance list is posted and we know those in colors are going to retire, then it's while supplies last. And so the ink refill, the cardstock, those coordinating products, they always sell out fast. So don't wait, stock up on those now. And especially like, sometimes now that we've got the mini catalog that goes past it, this paper has Just Jade in it. And the paper will continue to be available until June 30th, even after Just Jade retires. So if you like this paper, make sure that you get Just Jade, especially, and Bumblebee. That's another color that's in this paper. Make sure you get those coordinating products so that you have them to use with this paper.
That's why I wanted to bring it up, because I thought, these are going to be gone, and all of a sudden it's like, oh, I don't have any Just Jade paper, and I need it, because there's Just Jade, I think has to be one of the predominant colors in paper. So even though the Bumblebee, it's subtle, it's kind of in the background kind of a thing, that you can probably make do without Bumblebee for this paper. Now there's other papers that Bumblebee is in. So anyway, I digress.
Stock up on those favorite in colors sooner rather than later. And for one more week, get Celebration goodies when you order $50 or more in our online stores.
Oof, man. I can't believe it's going to be gone. It's like, okay, what if I haven't used Catching Butterflies. I haven't used it yet.
Oh my gosh. Well, you better get on that.
I know.
It's such a cute stamp set. You can make a card ahead for Anna's birthday, because I don't know why that stamp set makes me think of Anna.
It does.
Yes.
With flowing red hair.
Yes.
She got a haircut. And she got her hair cut, so it's not long.
She did. She got her hair cut in December. It's not so flowing and long, but it's so funny because in the summertime she was talking about how her neck was always hot from her long hair, and now that she's got it cut a little bit shorter, she's like, oh, my neck is cold. She's like, I guess I should have done this in the summertime and waited to cut her hair so she'd have that extra warmth. Oh my goodness. Well, let's wrap it up for now. We'll have more projects next Sunday to share with you. So be sure to tune in next week on Sunday at noon Central Time and 1 p.m. Eastern Time for more Sunday stamping with Susan and Julie.
Yes. All right.
Have a great week.
We'll talk soon, Julie. I love you.
Okay, love you too, Mom.
Bye,
Bye,
everybody.
everybody.